Hello, lovely people. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Nakiuti, and today I'm talking about my robbery attack before I left Ghana to the UK. Some people didn't know I went through that, but others also knew. I attend Grace Mountain Ministries. Most people know it to be Alpha Hour, and we once had a program push in our week of grace. And because of where I stay, going home after service in the evening was quite a problem for me. So sometimes I prefer to sleep in the church and then go home the next morning or early morning. I got to know that those who sleep behind, some of them and the shepherds and other members pray at dawn. Mm, mm. I didn't like that idea. I wanted to sleep. So I was like, well, let me just join. So when I think it was 12 a.m., they woke us up and we started with the prayers. And that day, the person leading the prayers was like, everyone is going to raise a prayer topic. I was like, I said it in my mind, not for me. This thing is not for me because I don't like leading prayers. Yes. So I decided that when it's getting to my turn, I would go out, and then by the time I'll come, they finished. But on the second thought, I was like, well, let me just do it. So I got to my turn and I raised a prayer topic based on Isaiah 54 verse 17, which says, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. We used that and then we prayed. Fast forward, days have passed. I went for afternoon duty, and after handover, I was so tired. By then, I had one of my small girls staying with me. So I called her that is food ready because I'm coming home and I'm very tired. So she told me yes, there was food at home. So she's coming to the junction to wait for me, then we go home. That was the day I decided not to fasten my belt because I was tired. I decided to walk on my shoes. I was so tired. So I got outside the hospital and then I stopped a taxi which was passing. The taxi stopped and it had the driver, one guy in front, and then one elderly man at the back. It was something normal because sometimes you stop a car and they have four people and you be the fifth person, or it's just you and the driver, or it's just you and one person. I sat in the car in about 100 meters. I told the driver to turn on the light so I can take money and pay. I think it was 2 cedis 50 pesos or something. Then I gave him the money. Then he turned off the light. So halfway through the journey, there's a portion that had a lot of bush, like a bushy area, which many people don't live around that part. The car stopped. Then the driver asked the guy in front that, are you alighting here? And then he was like, yes. So he went to the boot as if he was going for his belongings. And just then the driver rolled my side glass up. So I was like, why? Does the driver think he's a bad person? So I quickly also rolled it down a bit because my instincts weren't serving me right. Before I could say Jack, my side door has been opened and the guy who was sitting in front appeared with the cutlass. And the elderly man who was sitting by me also brought out a gun. It was at that moment I got to know that I'm dead. He told me to shift, so I ended up being in the middle of the elderly man and then the guy. In between cutlass and a gun, I didn't know what to do. I wasn't too surprised I was like, oh, it has happened to me. I just left everything that I had. I told the guys that this is what I have. These are my things. He was like, I should keep quiet. If I make any move, they are going to kill me. So obediently, they held my neck in between my legs. And the driver just turned around and changed the direction. As we were going, the guy asked me for my password. And I had my bank account on my phone. So I quickly formatted the phone and then gave it to him. He went to my mobile money, asked me for my password, and then after he borrowed money from Quick Loan, the money I had in my bag, they took everything. They even took the bag away, plus my prayer request list. Everything I had in the bag, they took it away. I was still in between these guys, and the driver was like, don't let us kill her. But when I was there, I was also thinking, was it not recently I led some prayers that said that no weapon formed against me shall prosper? So, God, now I'm in the midst of weapons. So, like, what's going to happen? In a second, I was like, I've led prayers. Nothing is going to happen to me. Just then I remembered, there are guys. What if they have sex with me? They rape me? What am I going to do? Another trauma. So I forgot about the weapons, and then I started thinking about being raped. But in between my legs too, I was still saying some little prayers in my mind, and the driver was like, call someone to send us money. And I'm like, Bossu, Boss, I don't have anyone. No, I just lost my dad, and I have no one. It was like, wait, we don't have anyone. So how we go do them? Then he just brushed that thing off. They kept walking around with me in the car. Like for good 30 minutes, I was in between them. My heart was beating, as well as the guy sitting by me. His heart was also beating. I could feel it. I was like, hey, why this guy? Is he a newcomer or what? Instead of me to be thinking about myself, see what I was thinking about. So they drove around. We got to a point, the guy went to look for mobile money to withdraw the money. He withdrew the money and came into the car. And then the driver was like, like, let's go and drop her at the riverside. And where we were, I was like, there's no river here, there's no sea. Well, not that I know of. There's no, I think there's a big gutter, like a drainage kind of. But I don't think there's a river or a sea or something. So where are they taking me to? I was really scared. But when I remember the prayer too, then I'm doing guy. But low key, I was scared. So as we were going, and they were like, boy, you into baby na uncle. I was like, oh God, thank you. Finally. Being in the midst of them for 30 minutes. Hey, it wasn't easy. I was traumatized. So we got somewhere, Suhum Road. That was a highway. Then they told me when they alight me and I turn my back, they are going to shoot me. So that portion, when you see the highway, most of the highways have this kind of like a slopey area. So they dropped me there. And when I stood on my feet, they tried to push me. But before then, when they wanted to drop me, the door couldn't open. I was like, hey, what is this one too? So the driver had to come out and open the door for me to get down. When I got down, they pushed me, and I was very dizzy by then. I only thank God that when they pushed me, I didn't slip into the slope. So they pushed me, and although I was dizzy, I was a bit unsteady. Then they drove away. I was like, God. Why they dropped me, it was like people were not staying there because it's a highway. All the buildings were down. Who am I? I don't even know where I was. Who am I going to call? I don't have money for car. And people are being noted to be robbed in that area. So it's like no one wants to stop. And I was just there walking about like stranded. I was like, oh God, what's this? What's this? What am I going to do? Like I was going crazy. So when the cars were passing, I tried stopping. No one was stopping. Fortunately for me, there was this guy on a motorbike. He's called Fuseini. He was on a motorbike. He passed. I stopped him. He didn't stop. He went ahead and then decided to turn around and came and was like, "What's the matter?" And I narrated what happened to him. I was like, "Well, where you are standing, no one is going to help you because they see it as a trap." Then I was like, "I beg him if he can take me to the hospital back. Oh, please." Then he was like, "Okay." I was like, "God, thank you." So I just hopped on his motor and then he took me to the hospital. When I got there, I saw then one of the nurses that I handed over full gens. He came and he was like, "Actually, what's the matter? Like, now what's up?" And I'm like, "Full gens, I'm weak. I can't do anything. I was attacked like by some guys and they went to drop me somewhere and like oh." I took the guy's number because I used it to call this my small girl. So I had his number. I was hydrated a bit, given some pain meds because I don't know what happened, but all my body was aching, and then I had like neck pain. We had to go and report to the police in the morning, but it didn't end anywhere. I just had to forget about it. But when I sat down and I was thinking about it, I was like, so me that I finally passed my exams, that maybe I'll be getting work very soon to travel. Now look at what is happening to me. So if they had killed me, what would I have done? I can't travel. My money is wasted. I'm dead. So I was there and I was like, why are all these things happening to me? So I was there and I was thinking that had I not led that praise, would I have still been saved by now? Like, would I still be alive by now? If they raped me, what would I have done? What if they killed me? Like, it means everything has ended. My dream to travel has been shattered. I saw that God saved me. God really saved me. I only came home with a neck pain. But at least it was better than being raped or being killed or being harmed. There's indeed powers in prayers. I'll be talking about the next thing that happened. Maybe it's a good news, or maybe it's another challenge. Okay, see you.